You find yourself driving to his house at 3 o'clock in the morning, knowing
I've been contemplating, meditating, should've waited, should've never dated, you seem irritated.
welcome back to the Sit Down with SolÉ, episode 3. Yes, episode 3. We are here. This week we're talking about, the tea is hot. Literally, it's hot. This week we're talking about soul ties. Myth? Is it real? My experience. So, let's get into it.
So if I can give you the real tea, I actually was like low-key nervous about doing this video because I'm like, how am I going to talk about a soul tie without it being weird? But you know what? We're just going to talk about it. We're just going to talk about it because this is the place where we just talk about it. So let's just talk about it. Disclaimer before we start today's video. This video is not meant to tarnish anyone's name. I will not be using specific names. These are just my experiences. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a doctor. I'm not any of that. I'm not a mental health coach. None of that. These are just my experience and my advice. So you don't have to go through the same thing I went through, sis or bro. So when I looked up the term soul tie, I found a lot of different terminologies or definitions for it or whatever. The one I liked the best was, it says, even when you are apart from them or out of their presence, you still feel as if they are a part of you. You feel unwhole, as if you have given up some of your untangible self that cannot be easily possessed again. That is a definition. Matter of fact, literally spilling the tea. Literally spilling the tea. Okay, so in my experience, I would say I've had 2 real experiences with soul ties. One definitely worse than the other, but definitely 2. So before we talk about my experiences, let's talk about how you know that you might, maybe, possibly, might have messed with the human. No, how you might have a soul tie. Let's see. So I was looking online, and so I identified some of the symptoms or ways to identify that you might possibly have a soul tie. Is that it affects your current relationship or it affects your future relationship. So like definitely was like that for me, even to the extent where the person might pop into your thoughts at random times or random moments. It's just intimate moments when you're trying to connect with your partner. Yes, I've experienced that. Okay. The first soul tie experience was in high school, going into college. The second one was in college into adulthood. Like, Jesus Christ. The second one was crazy. But the point is, in the second one, when I was in college, it definitely affected my relationships. It was like, no matter what relationship I tried to get into after this dude, like, it's like, he would just pop into my head, just thoughts of him. Thoughts of us walking together, thoughts of us chilling together, thoughts of just being together, thoughts of just laughing with him, thoughts about random time, or a song will come on, it would just be like, it just, almost like they're imprinted, like Twilight, like they're imprinted in you, like, no matter how much you try to stop thinking about them, how many times you move on, they somehow pop up. Somehow you'll just end up finding your way. You find yourself driving to his house at 3 o'clock in the morning, knowing you find yourself doing stuff you know you're not supposed to be doing. I would say one of the main ways to identify a soul tie, for me, it was never positive. It was never a healthy relationship. It was always toxic. It was always built on like an insecurity. It always happened after something drastic happened to me, or like a phase where I was going through really low self-esteem, or a point where I was really confused in my life, or I was trying to figure something out, and it was like that person just happened to come in almost like a superhero. I don't know, whatever you call it, but yeah, like that. And it was like when you attach to somebody, you know, in the times when you really have nobody, it's like you attach to them. I just can't even explain it. It's like so spiritual, man. It's deeper than just the physical. Like, I can't explain it, but it's like y'all souls really be intertwined. And it ain't fun because it's like you trying to move on in your life and they trying to move on in their life, and it's like y'all just keep toxically coming back together. And no one's doing anything to stop it. Nobody's blocking each other. Nobody's putting their foot down. And even when you do it, you and that person still find ways and find measures to still talk. You unblock that person. You follow that person back. You check the email. Man, y'all know what I'm talking about. I know some of y'all thinking like, wow, high school? You had SolÉ in high school? Yes. Something very traumatic happened to me in high school. It was traumatic. It was a traumatic experience for me. And after that experience, I was really confused about a lot of things, and I really didn't know who to ask about it or what kind of outlet, it was just really weird. And he just kind of swooped in, you know what I'm saying? And I actually had met this individual like years prior, not even realizing that this was this person. I was like 9 years old. I met him at some random sports type thing. And we laughed and joked, and he was so cool. He gave me his number, and I got scared. I threw it away because I couldn't talk to boys back in the day. Threw the number away, and I randomly saw him again in high school when I happened to transfer to a new school. Saw him there, and then like the following school year, we ended up dating. And kind of find out he was just like, I only knew one side of him, and our relationship was just like very toxic, built on a lot of lies. We were young, like, you know what I'm saying? He was out in the streets doing his thing. I was in a whole other world doing sports in my life. He was just trying to stay afloat. I was trying to go to college, and that was just that. And that's how that situation was. But he really preyed on my sweet side. Like, I really felt like bad for him. Like, I felt like, dang, I really can't help him. I really can help him see the positive in life. Like, I really can help him see that he can go to college and see that he could be a better person and get him to understand it. Like, I'm just trying to be like Oprah Winfrey at freaking 16, 17. Like, why? So, you know what I'm saying? That, built a soul tie. And then it was also like emotional. It was just a lot. It was a lot, like emotional abuse, like saying one thing but then really that, and saying this and meaning that. This is a lot of mental stuff, and on both parts, like, we both was young, but it was just a lot. And after high school, came back around in college, was like, let's just try it again. He let me get a clean slate. Let's just try. We was young. We older now. And I'm okay, yeah, you went to college trying to get your life together. You this, you that. You off the streets. You doing clean and narrow. You want a straight and narrow. Man, whole time he was talking to a girl, and I kept pointing out like, yo, this girl keep posting you, bro. She crazy. Okay, so if she crazy, I'm gonna let you and her crazy to sit down together and figure it out. And guess what? Sure enough, a month later, gonna find out shorty was pregnant. Them intuitions was right. I knew it. And that really hurt me. And that kind of brings me into the next segment of how I got over it. So that's really like how the backstory of the first one, it was kind of like we met when we was younger. Then we started dating again in high school, and then it just went on to college, and we just couldn't let go, and it just got really messy. He had a baby. Even after the baby, we still linked to talk and do what and cry and just toxic. Just let it go. At this point, let it go. And it's like the funny thing about a soul tie. It's not even like, oh, I want to be with you. Like, I want to marry you. I want to spend my life with you. Like, some of those are the thoughts, but a soul tie, it's not even that. Some people don't even care to be together. And that's how it was. Like, when he had a baby, it's like, surely you're done with him. Surely you don't want nothing to do with him. But it's like, well, you're still my friend. You know what I'm saying? And even though you had a baby, I never wanted a relationship. I don't want a relationship from you. But we still have this love and this soul tied to each other, and that's just how that was. So after the baby, but that really solidified it for me. We probably had like a few conversations after the baby. We probably saw each other maybe twice after that, and after that, honey, I was done. Like, even since then, like, anytime he tries to hit me up, it's LOL. Ha 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 ha. Go tend to your family. I had things to do. So the most important thing, on a serious note, I want to talk about in this video in this episode, is how to break a soul tie. And like,
I know, like, I be real charismatic and I, you know what I'm saying, I make light of the situation, but soul ties really, like, are real. You feel me? And if you are in a situation right now where you feel like you might have a soul tie, if you just got over a soul tie, if you feel like you may be starting to get one, then let's talk about how to break a soul tie or how to get over a soul tie. So the first step, I would say, just like anything, you have to acknowledge that it's there. What I would do a lot is, what happens a lot when you have soul ties is you tend to water stuff down, you tend to sugarcoat it, you tend to make it seem like, oh, we're just friends, oh no, we just go back, like it's not even a relationship, like it's not even that, like, oh no, we just, like, nah, call a spade a spade. No matter how many times you done moved on, you still think about this person. You still yearn for this person. It's still something that you still want from this person. Just be real with yourself. You still have a soul tie. You still have a connection to this person. You have to be real. You have to be honest. That's the only way you're going to be able to move forward and really accept and evaluate the situation for what it is. Because you can't look in hindsight if you have to be out of the situation to look in hindsight. You feel me? Like, you can't really see what's going on while you're in it. So you have to be real with yourself. Listen, like, look at, are you wasting your time? Are you getting back what you're putting into it? Or is this situation depleting you? Like, how long has this been going on? Have I been getting the outcome that I need? Like, have I really been, have I been fully satisfied, or have I just been dragging this out? Have I been enabling this soul tie to continue to be stronger? Step one, sis and bro, you gotta acknowledge that it's there. Number two, it's kind of goes hand in hand with part one. Like, you have to self-evaluate and reflect on, how did you get into this situation? Like I said, every soul tie that I've had was triggered by something. Like the first one in high school, you know, in high school, rumors, drama, like a lot of stuff happens in high school. A lot of times you feel alone in high school. You go through a lot of things mentally in high school. So that's what it was for me. With in college, it was I was in I had just got out of like a very emotional, abusive kind of situation. So again, I was really confused, trying to figure things out. And this guy just kind of came out of nowhere. He just came in my life out of nowhere, and it had this superhero effect. So for me, it was always boom, like something happened. Oh, this person picked me up type deal. For some people, it could be like you know, some people, when they get money or when they get status or when they get popping, they get a new relationship. That could be, you know what I'm saying? That could very well be that thing, or just that person that you just can't let go. Even if you're in a relationship, that person you're still texting, that person you're still DMing, that person you're still answering their phone calls, that person you're still checking their page, that person you're still, yes, it's a person you're still going to his or her page from a fake page. I think that's a soul tie. And you have to acknowledge and evaluate what got you here. What about, like, what is this person doing for you? What happened to lead to this place where I am mentally and emotionally? Because it's a mental thing and it's an emotional thing. It's deeper than just a soul tie. It's something that's really going on internally, spiritually with you, that you have to identify. That was good. The third thing I would say is that, now this one is, I'm true to myself. If you're not religious, if you don't believe in anything, then do whatever you do that you do when you do what you do. But me, what I did, I had to get God involved. I had to pray. And I vividly remember going to church on a Wednesday night. I went to church, and my god sister was actually ministering. She's an evangelist, and she was prophesying on the mic, and she was going in, and she said, I break every soul tie in this place in the name of Jesus. And she said, actually, I can hear his voice right now. He's saying this and he's saying that. And do you know, I lie to you not, everything she said at that pulpit on that mic is everything. I have never even confessed this and said this to anybody. Do you know everything that my god sister said? Mind you, I don't talk to her about relationships, none of that. We just go to the same church. That's my god sister. She's older than me. Like, we won't talk every day. If we talk, we talk. If we don't. So she didn't even know what was going on. So from the pulpit, everything that dude used to say to me to get me in like that trance, or like, it's like they say something and it's like, boom, like you just be like, oh my gosh, this guy is purple because you said this purple type deal. And everything she said is really what he would say. And when she said that curse was broken, I just kept saying it, like, in the name of Jesus, I break this soul tie. Like, I really meant that. And it didn't just happen, like, when I walked out of there. Like, no, I had to pray that prayer every day. I had to pray for strength every day. And in those times when I felt the urges to call him or text him for no reason whatsoever, in those times, I would have to pray. Had to. What else is there to do? Now, the fourth one, and this is the most important one, I feel, but other than 3. No, I mean, all these is important, but this one, if you don't do 4, then the first 3 don't really matter. The fourth one, you have to stay consistent and stay true to yourself. Stay consistent and stay true to yourself. Stay consistent and stay true to yourself. If you are going to block this person, if you made up in your mind you're not talking to them, you're not answering their phone call, you're not following them, you're not doing, stick to it. Stick to it. Stick to it. Because they may never get the message. The people that I've had soul ties with to this day, they still don't get the message, probably. Maybe even after this video, they still might not get the message. But guess what? I'm consistent. I'm consistently going to not respond. I'm consistently going to draw my boundaries. I'm consistently going to refuse to lower my standards and take things and allow things that I don't want. I refuse to allow someone else to have a piece of me. I refuse to allow someone to have a piece of my soul. That's not happening. So I'm going to be consistent. It's no soul ties in 2021. That's on that. Like, it's over of the time of giving people who weigh you down more of your time. The time of just throwing away energy. The time of just throwing away time. Those times are of old. Those times are over. It's time to focus on you. Even if the relationship you in, if it's not lining up with your goals and what you need, if it's taking more away from you than what you're putting, and you're not married, not engaged, peace out. Because no, we don't have time for soul ties. We don't have time for that this year. And I am so glad that I was able to let go and move on, because I would have been somebody's baby mama. Nothing to say anything wrong with baby mama. I'm just saying, like, I would have not went to college. I would legit have had my high school, the boy from high school. I probably would have had 3 kids by him. And we probably wouldn't even be together no more. And that's just that. If I had stayed with a dude in college like he wanted me to stay in the state with him after. No, if I had did that, I probably wouldn't even be the artist I am today. You have to stay true to yourself. And breaking a soul tie, it's not going to feel good. It's going to hurt. You're going to feel lonely. You're going to feel like, I'm losing the love of my life. Sis, you're not, because if it was the love of your life, it wouldn't be a soul tie. It would be a relationship. If it was the love of your life, bro, it wouldn't be a soul tie. She would be wifey or fiance. If he was the one for you, sis, it wouldn't be a soul tie. You would have a ring on it. I'm done preaching. I'm gonna pass around a collection plate. Make sure only 5s and 10s. Only 5s and 10s today. Thank you. All right. So in conclusion, yes, I believe soul ties are real. Yes, all of my experiences were negative. Yes, I advise you to get out of your soul tie. All right. But thank y'all so much for sitting down with me on episode 3 of the Sit Down with SolÉ. Thanks for talking about soul ties with me and how to break them. And next week we're going to be talking about, y'all pick the topic for next week. I can't remember, but I think it's depression and something along those lines. But we'll be back next week. Thank y'all so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. Make sure you follow me on social media. Make sure you listen to my songs. I drop a song every week on YouTube, so stay tuned. We'll see y'all next week on the Sit Down. Thank you so much for sitting down with me. Make sure y'all have y'all tea next week. Peace. What's up, y'all? Thanks for sitting down with me. Before we get started, make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. Follow me on the gram, and don't forget to share. It's free.